in this area for the 10 Sky Conference schools, and it's a pleasure for us to have Todd Hamilton, who's going to be with us to MC this program for us from WBGN Radio. Todd does a lot of the local football games here on the radio. Todd, we appreciate you spending time with us. Todd Hamilton.
Thank you, Coach Wallace, and good evening, everyone. You know, I was never fortunate as a kid to have an opportunity to, wasn't a great athlete, so I never played football. So, you know, for you guys, this is a very neat thing that you're getting here tonight, that you're getting awards. You know, it doesn't matter if you're a first team member or a second team member, all of you are winners. All of you are winners in one way or another. I think all of you deserve a nice round of applause. As Coach Wallace said, this is the resurgence of the Sky Football Conference, and we've had some very exciting high school football games during the course of the year, and there are a few of you here tonight that are continuing. You're going to be playing playoff games this weekend, and we certainly want to wish all of you the best of luck. Well, without any further ado, let's introduce you to the members of the Sky Conference team, and we're going to start things off tonight with the second team, and all the coaches will be participating in the program and presenting awards throughout the evening. And Allen County Scottsville High School coach Chad Cougar will be the first to present awards. We're going to begin with the second team's offense. This young man's had an outstanding year. He's a senior here at Bowling Green High. He has recorded 6 receptions for 89 yards and a touchdown. Outstanding young man, outstanding tight end. Our first recipient, second team Sky Conference in, is Stuart Borders. And if you would, as you come up to receive your awards, just please take a seat here and let everybody see you as we announce all these awards. Our next offensive end recipient is a young man who's played on a football team that's had an outstanding year this year. They are very good. They're going to the playoffs tomorrow night in Class 3A. I know Coach Les May's team has a big test. They've got to go down to Union County tomorrow night. This young man has been a big contributor to their success this year. Our next recipient of the second team offensive end, Charles Atkins of Logan County.
Yay!
Most of these positions will have 3 to 4 players picked, but because of some ties, there'll be some folks that will not be on the second team, but will be on the first team. So bear that in mind as we go through the season. Let's move along to offensive linemen. You know, linemen are the guys who don't get a lot of the credit. I mean, they're the guys that throw the blocks and open up the holes for the runners and the passers to do their job. You know, John Madden says they're the guys in the trenches, and they deserve a lot of the credit for making the team go offensively. And we've got 4 outstanding young men here who have been picked to the second team Sky Conference. Our first recipient offensive lineman is from Franklin Simpson High School. Please say hello to Derek Johnson. As Derek makes his way to the stage, the Wildcats have a big playoff game tomorrow night against the Cardinals of Taylor County in Class 2A football. This next recipient has played all 4 years here at Bowling Green High School. Started, and Coach Wallace, you may correct me, his first game as a freshman. He started here at Bowling Green High, has had an outstanding career, and during the 4 years that he's played here, the teams that he has been on have a combined 49-1 record. Let's say congratulations and welcome John Moran to the stage. Well, John's not here, so Coach, I guess we'll hold that award for a little later. This next young man, outstanding offensive lineman for the Fighting Gators of Greenwood, Class 4A. He is a member of the second team this year, and this recipient is Brandon Goins. recipient is on a very talented offensive line at Barron County High School. The Trojans are another one of the teams in Class 3A that are heading to the playoffs tomorrow night as Coach Billy Lindsay's crew played awfully well at the end of the season to get a chance to continue to track into the playoffs. They'll be going down to Paducah Tillman. Our next recipient, Byron Pennycup of Barron County. Our next offensive lineman recipient has had an outstanding year for his team. His team has been ranked in the top 10 throughout most of the season in Class 2A football, and they're getting ready for the playoff game tomorrow night against Heath at home. Our next recipient, Sky Conference second team offensive lineman, Jeremy Vincent of Edmonson County. And now as we get ready to move to the running backs for the second team, Coach Kevin Wallace of Bowling Green High will be presenting this next group. Our first recipient for second team running back has had an outstanding year for his football team. They are also going to the Class 2A playoffs tomorrow night. They'll entertain Henry County. He is the first of two recipients from his school to be named to the second team. From Glasgow High, Adrian Shirley. Glasgow is not with us tonight, so we'll move along. And the second recipient from Glasgow High, who's had an outstanding year as well, is Myron Bradley. Our third recipient is also from a Class 2A school. He's had an outstanding year for his team, an outstanding running back. From Franklin Simpson, Darius Williams. As Darius makes his way to the stage, so let's tell you that there will not be a quarterback named for the second team. There was a tie. So they will both be on the first team All-Sky that we'll get to in just a little bit. Let's move on to the kickers now. We've had some outstanding kickers this year in the Sky Conference. This young man, a very good kicker, leading his team into the playoffs tomorrow night from Barron County High School, McKay Dickerson. Now let's move to the second team defense. And there are a lot of outstanding defensive players this year in high school football. Our first recipient for the second team is a 5'10", 190-pound senior. He had 21 solo tackles, 41 assists, 7 sacks, 1 fumble recovery, and 1 interception during the regular season. A member of the outstanding defensive team here at Bowling Green High, Eric Helm. One of the anchors to the defense of the Barron County Trojans. They've played awfully well, as I mentioned earlier, the last couple of weeks, and they've earned their way into the playoffs tomorrow night. Please welcome Marcus Lewis. These are from the same high school. They've both had outstanding years defensively for their Class 3A team. Our first recipient from Logan County High School is Joey Sowers. Our next recipient is also from Logan County High School. He's had an outstanding year. Here's Cody Costello.
Yay, Cody!
young man's had an outstanding year on both sides of the football, but being honored here for his outstanding play defensively from Greenwood High School, John Kunkel. Also has had an outstanding year for the Patriots of Allen County, Scottsville, Jamie Town. Success defensively this season from Logan County High School, Ryan Taylor.
Yay!
And our last recipient of the second team award for linebacker, a young man who's a very versatile player, plays on both sides of the football for the Warren Central Dragons, Deshaun Bradley. Particular game, I remember that he intercepted a couple of passes and broke up a couple of others. Our first recipient, second team Sky Conference defensive back, Jay White. Defense, who's had a stellar year. He plays quarterback in the secondary. He had 20 solo tackles, 31 assists, 6 fumble recoveries, and 3 interceptions during the regular season. Senior Brian Lauder. Another one of the senior members of that defense had 13 solo tackles, 39 assists, and 1 sack during the season. Jeremy Flippin. Outstanding year for the Patriots of Allen County, Scottsville High School, Ronnie Scott. And last but most certainly not least, a very important cog to the special teams, of course, is the punter. And this year's Sky Conference second team punter is Josh Flippin of Franklin Simpson. As for this year's second team, yes, sir. Looking at this football during this past season, we're going to start with the offense first, and we're going to start with the end. Our first recipient this season has had a stellar year catching the football for his team. He's a big guy, a big target, and quarterbacks like big targets to throw to. They call him Poppy. From Glasgow High School, David Franklin. He has had a stellar year for his Wildcat football team. The senior has caught 28 passes for 429 yards and 3 touchdowns from Edmonton County, Brandon Jagger. I've had the pleasure to watch playing the last 2 weeks, and he's made some very big catches for his football teams in wins over Warren East and Warren Central. Outstanding player from the Trojans of Barron County, Jeremy Zoll. I call him one of the twin towers, because Greenwood High School's had 2 big receivers this season. He's also an outstanding basketball player, Tom Byrd. Now move to the first team offensive lineman. And looking at this group, even an old slow guy like me could probably run behind this group. Coach Ricky Wood of Edmonton County will now come join us to present the awards. Our first award will go to a young man who's been a 3-year starter for his football team, 6'1", 240-pound senior from Edmonton County, Nicki Johnson. It is a young man who's been the anchor of his offensive line for several years. He was the starter at center this year in his senior year from Warren Central, Jeff Reynolds. Our next recipient is a 3-year starter here at Bowling Green High School. He is being recruited by a number of Division I schools 6'5", 235-pound senior Daniel Withrow. Was a senior leader, particularly on the offensive line for his football team out at Warren East High School. And I think he has a chance to be an outstanding college football player. And a nice year for Coach Mark Spader in his first season as the head coach of the Raiders. Please welcome Brett Childers. Next recipient has been a big anchor in his offensive line too at Logan County High School,
Yay.
Ken Stratton.
Yay, Ken.
Now we move on to running backs. Coach Les May of Logan County will present this next group of awards. Our first running back recipient has had an outstanding year here at Bowling Green High. The junior has rushed for 723 yards and 102 carries and 10 touchdowns this season. Tremaine Taylor. Our next recipient is a young man that I had heard a lot about, but I had not got to see play until the last two games. And buddy, did he put up some numbers against Warren East and Warren Central in the last 2 weeks. And I think he's got a chance to be a good one in a college somewhere. From Barron County, number 18, Daniel Byrd. Daniel, you're one of those guys. Here at Atkins County High School, the senior has rushed for 1,146 yards and 21 touchdowns. Michael Basham. And as I said a little bit earlier when we were doing the second team, there was not a second team quarterback because these two lads tied for the honor this year. Our first quarterback recipient, a young man who had a chance to watch play against Bowling Green High. He's a gutty, gritty player, outstanding young man. From the Franklin Simpson Wildcats, Jamie DeBerry. Our second quarterback honoree has had a stellar year for his team. The junior has rushed for 727 yards, or I should say 782 yards and 14 touchdowns. He's 50 of 71 for 727 yards and 6 touchdowns. From Evanston County High School, Kyle Vincent. This young man worked hard in the offseason and has had a stellar year here at Bowling Green High. He has kicked 27 extra points and 5 field goals. Joe Davis. And our first recipient is from here at Bowling Green High School. The senior has had a stellar year. He has recorded 31 solo tackles, 78 assists, 18 quarterback sacks. Coach, I guess that has to be close to a record if it's not a record. And also has had a couple of fumble recoveries. Kevin Goff. Our next recipient, outstanding defensive player from Glasgow, and as we mentioned earlier, they are not with us tonight, Jamie Brown. Next recipient played several games this season. And Coach, he was the heart and soul of your defense. He really did an outstanding job for you this season. From Greenwood High School, Chris Trauber. An outstanding year for the Patriots of Allen County, Scottsville, Ronnie Scott. Bowling Green High School. He has had a tremendous year. The junior has recorded 39 solo tackles, 102 assists, 2 fumble recoveries, an interception, and 13 sacks. Robert Reynolds. For senior year, he has recorded 21 solo tackles, 60 assists, 1 1 fumble recovery, 1 interception, 4 sacks, and was a member of the All-State Team's second team in 1996, Quentin Woods. Logan County High School, linebacker Glenn Belcher. Our next recipient, an outstanding linebacker in his own right, from Franklin Simpson High School, Jamie Trauber. And I got a lot to say about this next recipient. This guy is 5'6", 152 pounds on the roster. Coach Hood, is that correct? Close to right? Okay. And let me tell you something. He'll go break up a pass, and he'll hit you. And I mean stick you hard. He is truly one of the favorite players around here to watch, and Coach Jim Pickens does nothing but rave about this guy. From Warren Central, Hopper Byrd. Great speedster in the secondary has done an outstanding year for the Cougars, Tico Dickerson.
Yay, Tico!
Our next recipient is also an outstanding speedster in the secondary, from Franklin Simpson, Solomon Parker. Back, a young man who's had an outstanding year, has great speed, also plays quarterback for his team, from Logan County, D. Wilson.
Yay, D!
And last but not least, the punter. This year's recipient from a Class 2A school, the Patriots of Allen County, Scottsville, Lyle McClure. And ladies and gentlemen, here is your first team All-Sky Conference for 1998. Let's do them all. I don't know how many years this is. I guess it's close to 12 or 13 to have broadcast many high school football games, but this certainly has to rank as one of the best seasons we've had in quite a long time. For those of you, as we mentioned, who are in the playoffs tomorrow night, good luck. I hope all of you have great success during the playoff run and certainly enjoy it because it is a great time in your life. To all of you, congratulations. We thank all of you for being with us tonight, and we are adjourned. Thank you once again, ladies and gentlemen.
What is it called?